Madrid is blended with the Manzanares River. It was useful in the development of the city. However, during the 19th century, it was abused as the M30 highway was constructed, turning the river into a wasteland and separating the citizens from the river. Since the late 90s, Madrid had been in search of greener policies and urban renewal. This project will be a measure to improve the city's transport system, beautify its landscape, and cope with the problems of pollution. The concept of placing the M30 behind several miles of concrete will reduce the levels of noise and air pollution to the surface level, freeing up space for green areas.
The Madrid Rio Project aims to transform over 120 hectares of neglected riverfront in Madrid. By relocating the multi-lane M30 highway underground, we can reclaim the space for sustainable development, creating ecological corridors and public parks. Key features include green spaces along the Manzanares River, which will improve water quality and reduce pollution. This project supports sustainable development goals by promoting green infrastructure and enhancing urban mobility with walkways, bike paths, and recreational facilities. We also face challenges such as managing environmental impacts, which we will address by complying with EU regulations and conducting thorough assessments. A strong focus on public participation ensures that residents are engaged in the design process, making this initiative relevant and beneficial to the community. The Madrid Rio Project will revitalize urban spaces, improve the transport system, and foster a healthier, more sustainable future for Madrid's residents.
The Madrid Rio Project aims to enhance the banks of the Manzanares River, which was an inaccessible and polluted area. The area would be converted into a vibrant and recreational space for sports, leisure, and cultural activities. This would benefit the residents and tourists in the area since there would be an improvement on the air quality and the urban congestion would be reduced, since the project would contribute to the environmental sustainability and livability of the city. The project would bring social, environmental, and economic benefits such as the improvement of public health and well-being, sustainable transportation would increase, the natural ecosystem around the river would be restored, and new business development opportunities will be presented. The milestone schedule for the project has a total of 10 milestones. First, the current state assessment, which measures the current conditions of the Manzanares River and would be done by the urban planning, architecture, and landscaping teams. The data collection milestone, where baseline data on traffic congestion and air quality is collected, is also done by the same stakeholder team. The third milestone is to define performance indicators and is done by the Madrid City Council. The fourth milestone is the environmental impact assessment. The next milestone is to present the final design to the Madrid City Council. After that, the sixth milestone is to obtain the regulatory approvals to begin construction. Then that leads us to the next milestones, which are infrastructure construction and the construction of landscapes and green spaces. The ninth milestone is the public amenities installation, and finally the 10th milestone is the final inspection and testing.
The success of the Madrid Rio project will be measured by four main criteria. First, the improvement of the quality of life for citizens, providing us accessible and safe recreational, sports, and cultural areas. Second, environmental sustainability, ensuring the project increases green areas, optimizes water management, and reduces pollution. Third, timely completion of its phase, from infrastructure to park construction, according to the established schedule. Finally, stakeholder satisfaction, where citizens, city officials, and companies must be fully satisfied with the outcomes. Additionally, success will also be gauged by increased tourism, job creation, and a positive environmental impact.
Let's continue with the risks. The biggest risk is the tunneling of the M30 because it implies the development of 46 kilometers of underground tunnels. Another point to take into account is the soil conditions and the water infiltrating probability. One major risk is the traffic congestion during construction, as the M30 is one of the most crowded highways of Spain. The environmental impact can be a risk because the project must not damage the ecosystem in the river. Moreover, the financial risk exists with an estimated cost of 4 billion euros. Let's continue with the assumptions. The main assumptions are that the regulatory environmental institution will facilitate permits and construction approval orders. Another assumption is that the public will support the project due to the reduction of pollution and improvement in the recreational spaces and tourism. Moreover, it is assumed that the engineering team will be able to solve the technical challenges and that the funding will be stable thanks to the local, regional, and European Union funds. Let's finish with the constraints. The most obvious constraint is a financial one, because the estimated budget is 4 million euros. Another constraint is time because there are political interests in completing the project within a certain time. A third constraint relates to the urban space because Madrid is a populous city and the river is lined by residential areas. Finally, the last constraint are the environmental ones because sensitive ecosystems in the river and its area must be taken care of.
The Madrid Rio Project needs a variety of resources. Human resources include engineers, architects, urban planners, and environmental managers responsible for design, sustainability, and community engagement. Material resources involve concrete, steel, sustainable materials, and vegetation for green spaces. Financial resources, with a budget of over 4 billion euros, will come from local, regional, and EU sources. Technological resources like project management and 3D modeling software will help in planning and monitoring. Logistical resources are crucial for traffic management and safe site access. Lastly, sustainability resources focus on green infrastructure and water quality systems to reduce the project's environmental impact.
The success of urban rehabilitation project in Madrid hinges on several key holders. The Madrid City Council is the main financier, focusing on infrastructure improvements and rehabilitation the Manzanares River. Urban planning, architecture, and landscaping team will design the new areas, while construction company will execute these plans. The media will shape public opinion about the project, while environmental agencies will ensure the ecological regulation are met, and the Madrid regional government and transport authorities will oversee the compliance with the urban mobility regulations accorded. Finally, the citizens of Madrid are the primary beneficiaries, prioritizing access to the green spaces and recreational areas, along with the local businesses that will benefit from increased tourism and pedestrian traffic. Also, with all the stakeholders, periodic reunions will be held in order to keep everything alignment. Talking about the team operating principles, to ensure the project success, the team should follow a key principle such as multidisciplinary collaboration, transparency, a focus on the sustainability, and effective management of the time and resources. These principles will ensure that the timelines, budget, and quality are respected, all with a focus on improving the lives of the citizens.
As we undertake the Madrid Rio Project, we can draw valuable lessons from past urban developments. For example, the relocation of the M30 highway reminds us of Boston's Big Dig, a project that succeeded in removing an elevated highway but suffered from significant cost overruns and delays. To avoid similar issues, we must focus on accurate cost estimation, comprehensive planning, and careful risk management. Another key concern is gentrification. In projects like New York's High Line, rising property values displaced long-term residents. To prevent this in Madrid, we need to work with policymakers to ensure affordable housing and protect against rent spikes, so the benefits of this project are accessible to all residents, not just the wealthier newcomers. These lessons guide us as we transform the Manzanares River into a vibrant, accessible public space that benefits all of Madrid's residents.
The Madrid Rio Project will involve various key actors signing binding agreements. The main signatory is the Madrid City Council, committing to financing and coordinating the project. Construction companies will also sign to ensure deadlines, quality, and safety. Environmental consultants will commit to meeting ecological standards, while international organizations will provide funds or sustainability certifications. Local communities will sign agreements to actively participate in maintaining new spaces. Legal contracts will include clauses to ensure compliance, and maintenance companies will commit to preserving the facilities long term. External supervisors will monitor compliance, ensuring quality and transparency throughout the project.